to get things going.
I find for FPX very clever that they left actually R5 for AD carry right here. It could be a case of we're playing Kai'Sa and we're going to all-in dive, or we're going to play Kalista and we're going to play...
dive.
Shadow is looking. Gala and Mako have actually picked up on that. They know that Shadow could be around, but now they're not under a tower.
Yeah, Mako does get stunned up by the W of Shadow. However, the Tangle Barbs do not connect, and Gala is able to get a nice amount of poke back in onto the Pantheon. And now FPX are relatively low HP and are going to try to just close the gap here. Shadow flashes forward. They're going to chain that CC well, and Awesome's going to pick up first blood.
I mean, it was inevitable for FPX. They had to make this. Doing it literally right on top of Vision, but because that bot lane swapped over on the tops of the map from FPX, there is literally no one that can walk inside the river and stop them from doing it. So, pretty good from IG so far. Oh, hold up.
There goes that bear.
Okay, it's just a teddy bear. You know what?
Yeah.
If not friend, why friend shaped? That's my question about bear. They're actually going to give up on that one. As you see JJ heading towards his top section.
Yeah, another instance of FPX sacrificing a little bit of the resources that Sheer can put out in order to allow for an objective to be collected. And now we can see if the Shy can win out on this 1v2. He's already overheated. Forces the Fates call in from Awesome, and Jue is able to knock up the Shy again. The Electro Harpoon does not connect, and this should be a kill, most likely, but the Shy making a work for it here. Finally, Awesome gets the gold. That's number 2 for FPX.
Yeah, there's not a lot of items in anyone's inventory. Into the fight. Sheer is walking all the way. The Herald is getting very dangerously low.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to actually get secured by Invictus Gaming, so FPX not in the position to respond. Remember, Shadow used his ultimate a little bit too early, looking for a play down bottom. Nice reaction by Awesome to use that Fates Call as well as the barrier, I think, and the flash. So both summoner spells on that play to avoid Tibbers going on top.
Also, Kalista itself, you take the safety from the Nico away. Once Jue is in, then that's it.
Yeah, you know, if we can get Jue to pop a really big ulti, like those have been like the moments where I think FPX have looked the best. Like start of the season, one of the first games I've watched of FunPlus Phoenix this year, it was a 5-man Nico ulti from Jue. I think it was back in Split 1, or even Demacia calculated, but it was a really insane play, and I was like, okay, hold on, this FPX team, they might be cooking a little bit here. And, he's kind of made a name for himself on the Nico, at least so far here in this season. He's risen more in popularity, but Jue was one of the innovators on this pick. Has been doing pretty well on it so far. And now we get 2 Tibbers in the bottom lane. And it's going to be matched here by the ulti from Shadow, but Rookie will be able to run away at least for a little bit. However, he's kind of going the wrong direction at this point, and that means he's going to get collapsed upon. Care just bursts him down. And that's another kill going for FunPlus Phoenix in this game. The response is going to be Herald popped in the mid lane. Most likely that tier 1 turret nearing going down. The next wave should certainly seal the deal.
Man, Sheer is the bane of IG's existence. I feel like Sheer has read the map so freakishly well so far. He's always there to defend towers. He's always there to defend ganks coming through from JJ. And he's played a fantastic game of just pretty much being at the right place at the right time with Sion. You know that you can fall slightly behind to the rumble. It's just very natural. Defending your team, that's what Sheer is there. They try to get a kill, Sheer is there. Flashes over walls, defends the towers from the Heralds. He's actually been on point with his movement on the map. Talking about movement on the map, Care.
He's going to dash in, has this Crescent Guard, but is unable to use it. He gets crowd control locked to Oblivion. Meanwhile, the Shy picks up a solo kill onto Sheer. He's going to be in the zombie form, and Shadows jumped in with that Grand Starfall, so it'll go down in a trade. But a really nice sequence of events for Invictus Gaming. They get kills on both solo laners of FunPlus Phoenix.
Yeah, and they're doing the attack count on the top side of the map as well, so another neutral objective going their way as the FPX are trying to lick their wounds, taking a couple of hits on the mid lane tier 1 tower. And remember what we said, there's not a lot of AD carries that can take Sion down. However, Rumble doesn't need to be an AD carry because early on with a double,
change things? No. FPX for sound? No, I just have to be doing things in the background in the first game of the day, and sometimes we have tech issues with that. Oh, let's get back into the fight though. I've seen it's been a bit of a comeback from IG, but we'll see if they can get anything more than just that. JJ gets himself out. That's not a bad killing coming in from Gala. Sheer currently alone in the front line will flash out. Gala gets himself his E charge back up by getting some double taps on. Sheer getting really isolated here, and it feels like that teleport just left him completely in the lurch. FPX lose themselves their top lane and don't get anything in return. IG don't necessarily have to worry about the engage coming through from. Hang on, that's not a great Zonius at all from Gare. Puts the equalizer over the top of the flash in. Means that Shadow steals it. The equalizer helps burn it down, and Shadow will take a well-earned prize. Baron onto 4. Kashir had respawned in time, and the stolen equalizer. About that. Okay, Dragon now getting started up. IG just lost themselves the Baron. Will stop Soul going out to FPX. Gold is not that far apart, but IG, I mean, if they'd gotten that Baron, they'd be in a so much better place.
Gala gets chunked out as well, as that lethality Callista from Awesome is starting to do a lot of damage. Throwing out those spears left, right, and center, hoping to get that next wave ushered in. Speaking of waves, Care has one in the mid lane. He's not stopped. That tier 3 is going to go down, as Karen the Stylist has really gotten powerful in this one. Level 17 on this pick with a Rod of Ages in inventory, and with too many waves to handle, Invictus Gaming are bleeding on multiple areas of the map. They send another teleporter from Sheer. They want to continue the play.
Yeah, the juggle is excellent right here from FPX. They're crashing in the mid lane wave, as you can see right now on your mini-maps. Shadow is backing up here as well. They're going to be attacking 2 towers at once. Mid lane inhibitor tower is going to go down. They're going to start tagging that bot lane one as well. The cannon is just about now going to die. So FPX, there's a loose cannon. It's called Zway. Going towards the mid lane. He's going to reveal himself eventually. But another wave coming through from the bottom of the map. Mid lane wave crashed as well. FPX are doing a fantastic job with their waves in this power match.
They got just a little bit more. It has just expired, and now Invictus Gaming might feel a little bit more brave to go forward here. It does mean that Care is able to take down that full inhibitor in the mid lane essentially on his own. The pure might of that Stylus, able to get super minions down the mid lane for the next 5 minutes or so. And FPX, a 5,000 gold off of a very successful Baron power play. Remember, we thought IG were the favorites coming into
a little bit more control over the top side of the area, because they know, I don't think the game is ending unless
Rookie
they can take the next Baron too.
He gets spotted out by the clone of Jway. Nicely used W by the Nico to make sure they spot out any potential flank angles. And now JJ's gonna get collapsed upon as Shadow jumps forward. Look at Care going over the blast cone. Already JJ's forced to flash away. Look at the stolen away Nami ulti. And Jway goes over the top of it all. But on the backside of things, the Shy is looking very powerful on the Rumble. He's overheated, able to survive with that scrap shield. And IG are fighting back. Gala gets another kill. It is so far a 3v4 as now FPX are on the run. Gala doing a lot of damage so far. The health bars on FunPlus Phoenix are low. Shadow Awesome and Sheer looking to try to escape. Sheer forces Tibbers away, and it looks like that is enough to make sure no more blood is shed.
Okay, this is looking more and more like the old...
He's going to be late to this fight, and that means IG can start this dragon up.
Yeah, he's got that GA, but remember, he does have the ultimate. He can jump in whenever he wants to Sheer.
IG just burst this, but
instead...
Here. They bought enough time for Shadow to arrive at the Grand Starfall. He might be a little bit too over-aggressive. He already has that Guardian Angel pop. The pop blossom from Jway is big. And Gala goes down alongside Mako. And FPX are now fighting a 4v3. But look at JJ. And look at the Shy. He's toasting Assume. Takes him down. And now it's a 2v2 overall. Sheer and Care looking to try to chase down the Rumble and the Xin Zhao, but they will not be able to. Back with Smite in hand. He did not die in that fight, and the rest of IG will come in and deny the soul once again. What a game that we have here between two teams that are former world champions on opposite trajectories so far in the standings, but they've been fight. Remember, FPX not only has the smite advantage for Shadow, he's in the pit right now, but they also have the Callista Ren at their disposal. JJ's gonna try to get into the pit. He gets knocked up by Sheer, and that means FunPlus Phoenix secure the Baron, but can they win the fight in response? The Pop Blossom, oh, it's a dis-synergy with the Fate's Call. Nobody gets hit by the Nico ulti, and that means both soul laners will drop with ease as IG find 2 kills.
Another incredible equalizer coming through from the Shy. And look at the Baron pit. Look at what the walls look like. They're perfection. You get stuck through a choke point, you get absolutely cooked, and IG are pulling a reverse Spider-Man here. They're pushing into a burned up base.
And they have 5 members strong. They could look for even more than this mid lane inhibitor potentially. It is Shadow, Awesome, and Jway, but no ultis are available in the bot lane of FPX, so IG are going to go for the throat right now. They're going to have to burst through these baroned up minions, and that's going to be a tougher task than they might have originally expected. And now with the death timers coming up, IG are going to have to make a decision. Do they go for the end right now, or do they head back? It looks like they'll choose the ladders before making his way down to join the rest of his team, and that means that JJ can go in immediately as the turret goes down. Sheer finds a 2-man knockup though. Jway with a pop blossom does not find the backline, and here comes the rest of Invictus Gaming. Shadow's able to get one, but on the backside of things, he's in a whole lot of trouble as it's Rookie with Timbers tearing apart FunPlus Phoenix. Another knockup lands on the Sheer. Only him and Awesome are still alive, and this will be IG taking control of this game number 1. Awesome goes down to the culling. One more to Gala to finish it off, and IG come all the way back and win game number 1 over FPX.
They break the curse from the first series and they take that game for themselves. And the Shy, what an absolute banger of a game on this Rumble.
Game number 1 went the way of FunPlus Phoenix the first time around, but in their last series of the group ascent stage, it will not be as easy.